Hello and welcome to Hey Team TV. So, following the fact that we are called Hey Team TV, I thought it would be prudent to show that we make hay and haylage. We don't make any straw grow corn, we buy our straw in, but in this video we're just sort of going to go through some of the machines we had 2 years ago. We've changed a lot since then. We don't tend to hold on to machinery. We do move it quite regularly. This was 2 years ago when we were running New Holland 2 T7 210 and a pair of Pro Glide 3100 mowers by mchale. The mchale mowers were actually fantastic. The reason we changed them wasn't for the fact we wanted to change from the brand. We're big mchale fans, but we chose to change because the mowers were very heavy, and now we've gone to a different make, but mchale didn't offer a mower without a conditioner at the time. The Pro Glides were fantastic, especially on undulating ground. The way the front mower and the back mower rocked and pivoted was pretty impressive, especially in a whole heap of water meadows we run. Unfortunately, we don't have any footage of the water meadows when we cut them on that year, but in the future it will be shown. These mowers were a little bit power hungry. Our 210 was happy with them in flat fields, slightly sloped fields, but if you got onto some steep, they would draw a little bit more out of the tractor than we would like. This little video here is us going through one of our ryegrass stands. In most of our fields first cut, we expect somewhere between 14 and 16 4-foot round bales an acre. Occasionally we get a bit more. This video here is on a second cut field when we first got our first drone. We were a little bit robotic on the driving the drone to start off with, but this drone footage shows our nice scenery down in Devon. I like to think I have quite a good insight into mowers. We used to run JFs, which we had for a while, but that was just JF rear mowers. Then we went on to a Viking, which was a very, very good mower, lasted for years. After that, we went to our first set of duals, which was a pair of lely's, 320 MCs and a 320 FC. That was a very, very good pair of mowers, but in heavy crops would end up making the tractor crawl, very power hungry. We found there wasn't enough room between the conditioner and the conditioner plate, and quite often in horrendously thick grass we'd end up wrapping up the conditioner and forever getting out to pull it out on really, really heavy years. So a little bit on t7s. This is a 8-star 8.82 I think krone. We ran 2 of these for quite a while. Before that we had 2 lely lotuses, which I'm very glad to see recently at Llama Show Fent have re-put up the Lotus Tedder with the Lotus Tedder Digitine, which possibly is one of the greatest tedding tines I've ever seen. The crones do a good job. They fluff it up, but sometimes they can still leave it lumpy, where you've got to go through it a few often. The old Digitine on the Lely's would literally tear every lump to pieces. Before that we had a stole tedder that went on for years. Apart from stole tedders, worked a dry grease bed between the units, or the tedding arm units, which we had a mechanic come in and filled up with oil, and that kind of destroyed that tedder from the inside out. But we've been pretty happy with the krone tedders for a very long time. We now run 2 10-stars rather than 2 8-stars. This is all currently on the back of a New Holland T6 160. As you can notice on the front of this tractor right now, there is what looks like a weight, but it's not. Adam made himself a mobile toolbox which he'd take out with himself. Here we go into a rake that we had for about 12 years. We wish, and I'm hoping Fent might bring this back out as they brought the Lotus out. The Lely Hibiscus, we were big fans of Lely gear for a very long time. The Lely rake had 2 rocking axles per star on each side, and it would climb over absolutely everything. We recently got a krone rake which is going this year and we've had it 1 season and it was an absolute pain in the ass. It would dig in on undulations. There's no rocking movement on the wheels anymore. It's 4 rigid wheels, so it doesn't go over undulations quite so well. The only thing which was a lot better on it is it would lift up, with the back of the rake would lift up first and then the front would follow, so you'd get clean ends. But if the Lely Hibiscus came out again, we would probably out and out go for one. Very strong, narrow. All modern rakes now are running a 3-meter travel width. We had to go out and hide in a few areas, not just gateways but the odd road. The Hibiscus travelled at 2.7 meters, if my memory serves me correctly, but we're gaining, I think, by a meter raking width on the krone, extra than what we had before, leaving us a nice just over 1.5 meter pickup row for our round baler. This Hibiscus is on the back of a New Holland 6050, fantastic tractor. Had the stole loader on the front. This tractor we had for years, I think we had for 7 years. We don't tend to keep them around very often either. Most are changed within 4 years. Then that leads me off on this shot to our round balers. We have been with mchale for a long time. We've recently in the last 3 to 4 years been on the variable chamber balers. A lot of the time, even though that's a 4-foot bale gone out the back now, we run 5.5 to 6 foot round bales, so we've got a lot less to clear, and we turn most of the bales into small bales indoors. We've had a lot selection of round balers. We used to have Welgers. From Welger, after a while, with the RP12s, RP50 maybe, I think was one of the last ones we had. We changed to class Rollants, but we soon found ourselves, after about maybe 6 seasons of class, going to mchales. Once we got with mchale, even the fixed chamber V5 550. We have not looked back. They get a substantial amount of grass into a bale. We would possibly be biased that we reckon there's more in a bale than others. We've had New Hollands on demo and classes on demo. A mchale round bale is from flat side to flat side. We put in about 4 inches more on a tape measure. So, you know, 4 inches over a certain amount of bales, more grass per bale, less bales to move. So it becomes more economical. Obviously, as I said before, we make 5 foot, 5.5 foot, nearly 6 foot round bales. So we're clearing a lot less bales anyway. This is a nice crop of hay that we're going through right now. Being a belt baler, the only drawback is they aren't so good on wet stuff. Anything from a mildly damp haylage to dry, they're happy. As soon as you get into wet silage, balers tend to wrap up belts. She'll sometimes twist a belt over, causing massive problems. We've never snapped a belt. We've had minor tears in the sides. On one side in particular, being, I think it's when you look back over your shoulder, the right hand side, they'll tend to pull grass in towards that bearing and push all the belts to the side. But on dry stuff, hay, straw, haylage, loves it, absolutely loves it. You can feed it pretty hard. Obviously you see the size of the row going through. Very hungry baler. We've been very, very happy with them. I can't see us changing from mchale for a very, very long time. The only thing I'd like to ask mchale, if they ever come across this video, is if they're looking at making a big square baler, that'd be amazing. Something we've been thinking about for a long time. Don't know if we'll change to one, but it is on our mind to look at one. So that brings us to bringing in bales. For about 5 seasons we've been running Merlo telehandlers. Before that we had a Mapro with a pin and cone headstock, it was an awesome bit of kit. Unfortunately Mapro don't make them anymore. John Deere bought them out and then discontinued that handler. Merlo, some people have, you know, mixed views about them. We loved them, absolutely loved them. Hydrostatic, just didn't cause us any problems. People say that they don't tow well. We bring in about 450, maybe 500 acres trailering with a telehandler. Tractors running as well, and never causes a problem. Also, when we're towing in these big 5.5 foot bales, which you can see being loaded now, where the top 2 we put on their flats because they're so wide. If we put them on their rounds on top, the centre of gravity is too much and they topple off, so we put them like that so it helps clamp down. But being 5.5 foot bales, obviously you're carrying more haylage because you've nearly got 2 bales in every single bale. Merlo, quick, gutsy. We only had 32.6, which is, I think off the top of my head, 100 horsepower tops. We wouldn't have gone away from them, but Merlo discontinued that size telehandler, or so our reps told us. Hence, if you've seen more recent videos recently, we're now running a JCB 53660 loader, which arguably is better at towing, but it has got the gearbox designed for that. But Merlo's never served us a problem. Anyone that sort of moans about them or says they don't get on with them, I have no idea why. Does what it says on the tin. Tows well. I found that every time getting to a slope, people say they get sluggish. Well, just simple, stop at the bottom, drop it to the low box. Should pull
all the way uphill, and around us we're not very flat, we've got a lot of hills around us. Our farm's based at the top of a valley, looking down to the sea, so there's slopes going up everywhere. The set of spikes we bring, other than bringing in trailers, we bring a lot in on spikes. Here's a little shot of her steaming away on the old pull. But if you saw the spikes that were on the front a second ago, we had them specially made, so it'll pick up 5 4-foots or 2 5.5 foot rounds. This is the end of the same season on that New Holland towing. So that leads us down to wrapping. Again, I said before, we are huge mchale fans. We've got a mchale round bale cutting knife, a baler, we've had mowers, and more importantly the wrapper. We have run a Canervan wrapper before, but nothing got anywhere near the ability of the mchale wrapper. So precise, just gets the job done every time. So this is the last little shot, just going into us going up to see some of the fields and the views. Our farm is on the foot of Dartmoor and looks down a valley to the sea. We're down near Plymouth, and even though we're called Hay Team TV, our product is White House Farms haylage, hay and straw. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you already haven't. Hope you enjoyed this video.